What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the NFL. The 2025 NFL season is upon us. Week 1 underway. Thursday night football kicking off last night. We got some more action here tonight for Friday, and that's going to carry us through the weekend into Monday Night Football. And I could not be more excited to start breaking down football plays and just watching football again in general. So, guys, in my videos, I just go over my favorite plays on the slate. We break those down, we analyze those. And I've got 5 plays that I like here for Week 1 slate. So let's go ahead and dive into the action, guys. Hit that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's jump into this first pick, man. I'm going to be looking at the Kansas City Chiefs laying the 3 points against the Los Angeles Chargers. A lot of noise, man, around this Chiefs team. That wide receiver room with Rashee Rice being suspended for the first 6 games. But I've seen Mahomes make it work every season now since the departure of Tyreek Hill. And I've honestly had questions about his weapons outside of an agent Travis Kelce with each of these passing seasons since trading Hill, right? It just hasn't seemed to matter, man. And they still got Xavier Worthy over there. They still got Hollywood Brown. Like I said, Travis Kelce. And I think the thing that nobody's talking about is that he's not going to have to rely so much through the air as they did last year with Pacheco being hurt all season. Pacheco is back, man. I think people forgot how hard this man runs, how fast he runs, and how much of a vital piece he is to this Kansas City offense. So I think that's going to help Kansas City a ton in this one. The Chargers, they do have a very solid secondary, right? They were ranked number 2 in PFF coverage last year. Each of these teams have concerns on the offensive line, though, right? Tackle Rashawn Slater going down with a season-ending injury for LA. The Chiefs, they will be rolling out a rookie at left tackle who's switching positions at that, and then a left guard who's only made one prior start. But even with that said, man, they still have that duo of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And I think we've learned enough over the years to not start counting these guys out, right? No matter what. Kansas City is 9-2 under Reid in openers. They're 5-1 with Patrick Mahomes under center. And then that one loss came without Travis Kelce. He was out injured. And then Chris Jones, who was out in the middle of a holdout. So Justin Herbert, he's also just 2-6-1 against the spread in his last 9 starts as a dog. Man, I'm rolling with the Chiefs here for this first pick. Chiefs laying the 3 points. And for our second pick, we're going to go ahead and jump over to Outlier. I got a player prop that I'm looking at. We're going to be looking at that Bengals and Browns game in Cleveland, looking at Jamar Chase, an anytime touchdown, minus 125 over there at Bet365. Pretty good price on this one, man. Now, this is obviously Burrow's favorite target, right? It's his safety net when things start to break down. And look, man, while the line appears better than last year, at least on paper, I still have concerns about the interior line. A rookie at left guard, a veteran starter who's bounced around a few times, at right guard. I don't know. I have my concerns there. And like I said, when things break down, who does Burrow look to? Man, he's trying to find number 1. And it makes sense. Let's scroll on down. Look at Jamar last year, the Triple Crown winner, right? A lot of games with touchdowns, a lot of games with multi-score touchdowns, right? And if we scroll on up here and look at him head-to-head against the Browns, he did find the end zone in each of those games against Cleveland. I know I'm a biased Bengals fan, but I don't think that this Cleveland Brown defense is what it's been in recent years, and that secondary does have some injuries as well. If we look at Chase in his last 6 games on the road last season, he hit at an 83% rate 5 of those 6 games. And we also look at the Browns last year. These are last year's numbers, obviously, but they're sitting at 28th in terms of touchdowns allowed overall and 32nd dead last in terms of touchdowns allowed against that wide receiver position. So I think this is a good place to start here. Like I said, Jamar Chase, an anytime touchdown, minus 125 over there at Bet365. But I also like taking a look at Trey Hendrickson, man. Look, he has had some success against this Cleveland Brown team, right? We look at him in his last 4 games, a 75% hit rate, getting over half a sack, right? He even had half a sack landing there on the hook in that one game out of those 4. Now, in his last 4 games overall against Cleveland, he's got 21 pressures with a 27.1% pass rush rate. And we see over here as well, Cleveland last year, sacks allowed 31st against that defensive line. Not much better, 28th against the defensive line specifically. There are questions on that offensive line again this season, right? And you got Joe Flacco back there. Look, man, if Trey can get back there, I don't know where Joe's going, right? He's not he's not mobile anymore. A 40-year-old quarterback. He's not going to run out of the pocket. Trey, I think, is going to find some ways to get some pressure on that quarterback, and I like him to get a sack in this one, man, at minus 135 too. So I feel like we're getting some good prices. Maybe I'm just a biased Bengal fan here with Jamar Chase touchdown and Trey Hendrickson on the sack here, but they've had success against this Cleveland team, man. So I definitely like both of these plays. So before we move on to the next play, though, I did want to talk to you guys real quick about Outlier. That's the platform that we are on right here. Guys, if you are not on to Outlier, make sure you check down there into that description and into that pinned comment. I'll put a link down there. You'll be able to click that link and get yourself a free 7-day trial. And it's not all about player props, but look, man, the player prop aspect of this is phenomenal, right? But man, you can break it down to all the games, right? And you can look, we got money line, we got the spreads, we got the totals, and we can jump into each of those and find data on everything, right? We can see how they've done in their last 5, their last 10, head to head against each other. And Outlier is great, man. They got all these insights as well. It's going to give you a little tidbit of info like this one here. The over has hit in 5 of the Philadelphia Eagles' last 7 games as a favorite. And then you can click into those, and it's going to start filtering things to that insight as well. So, man, just a really cool tool. And like I said, the player prop aspect of it is amazing, man. Now, obviously, my internet's going to be slow and not work with me here. So that's a beautiful thing. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Hey, thanks, internet. Thanks for joining the party, man. We're talking about Outlier here and how amazing it is. Now, look, these player props, man, this is where it's phenomenal. Like I said, now you can start filtering everything, right? You start looking at what kind of plays do we want to what do we want to look at here? Or do we want to look at specific players or specific games? Do I want to just look at overs or just look at unders? Right? We can filter it into what kind of odds we want, right? From let's say minus 160 all the way up to plus 2,000. We can do that. And then after you find all of your settings here and what you are, specifically looking for, bam, you can come over here and save that, right? And now you got all these different filters that you can just pop up, right? Now I got the NFL 25 right here for the upcoming season. And then from there, man, there's so many different ways you can look at things. Like you can break it down, as far as like the opponent's ranking against that specific play or how that player has done in their last 5 games or in their last 10 or head to head. There's just so many different ways to look at things here on Outlier. And they got things available for the NFL, the MLB, college football, soccer, WNBA, NBA, NHL, and college basketball when it comes back. Man, this is an excellent tool. Like I said, if you have not gotten onto Outlier yet, make sure you check down there into that description, into the pinned comment. We'll put a link down there for you guys. That way you can get your free 7-day trial and check it out for yourself. The next play we're going to be looking at Jaylen Warren of the Steelers. They're taking on the Jets, 1 p.m. kickoff time. I'm looking at Jaylen Warren's receiving yards over 18.5. We can get that at minus 110 over there at Bet 365. Now, if we look at him last season, hit this at a 56% rate, 9 of those 16 games, right? More green there at the end of the year, though, right? Let's look at this insight from Outlier. We can see that he has exceeded this mark in 8 of his last 10 games, actually averaging 26.2 receiving yards per game. And that was as the second back as well. And we know that Aaron Rodgers, man, he likes to target those running backs, right? And then if we scroll on down, we can see, look, Jalen pulled in 79% of his targets last season, so he's got some sure hands. I definitely like this look here. Like I said, with Aaron Rodgers coming to town, man. So yeah, it's Jalen Warren receiving yards over 18.5, minus 110 over there at Bet 365. Final play I'm looking at, it's going to be in the Tennessee Titan and Denver Bronco game. I'm looking at the Titans, a team total under 16.5. We could look at it 17.5, right? It's just a little more juice at minus 155. So I'm going to be looking at it under 16.5, and I still like this one, man. Cam Ward, he's going to be making his NFL debut here in week 1 on the road in Denver, where it's already difficult to play to begin with that altitude, right? Now he's going up against a Denver defense that made a ton of big moves in hopes of taking an already great defense, making them elite, to pair with a second-year quarterback in Bo Nix and then Coach Payton as well on that offensive side with his offensive brain. Now, Denver upgraded the running back room as well, man, and against a defense that allowed over 2,200 yards on the ground, over 20 rushing touchdowns, and over 4.5 yards per carry, I would expect Denver to exploit this weakness and just completely control the time of possession in this one. There's not going to be much relief for Cam either, man, trying to rely on a run game on his side, as Tennessee ranked 28th DVOA for the run when away last year. Denver was first in terms of run defense at home from a DVOA perspective, so back in that Denver defense in this one, man, taking the Titans team total under in this one here. And that is going to wrap it up, man, for week 1 of the NFL regular season. Hope you guys all have a great week 1. I hope you guys all cash out. I'll see you back for week 2.